with medicine. My docket, Kirk doc here. It is clearly worn off.
I'm on like an email chain, used to be a text chain with my family.
Yeah.
Trying to work out what we're doing for vacation this year. And it's just like, oh my god, you people. Are driving me insane.
No, like the worst, like my buddy has it worse because like in our like main friends group, you know, his little brother is part of it. And so like sometimes like, you know, we'll wind up in like he'll have like 3 separate like text message threads going, like the main one and like another side one with people talking about the main one, and then like the you know the one where the family people are talking about it.
The problem is that my brother is cheap. So we had found a fairly decent place where we were gonna stay. But I'm sure my brother just looked at it and goes, well, that's too expensive.
I've stayed in a hotel with you. You don't, you know, you're not like, you're not like, oh, hey, let's go stay at the Hyatt or anything like that.
We're renting a place at the beach for a week, so for 9 people. So it gets a little bit expensive.
Yeah, I would probably like $2,000 for the week.
I think the place we were looking at was like $3,300.
Okay.
I
mean,
and I'm sure that's expensive. It's not. It's definitely not the most expensive. On some of the sites I was on looking this afternoon, it was like
for 9 people,
$1,000 a night. So I was just like, that's too much.
Yeah, I was like, well, let's see here. Okay, like a 2-bedroom condo.
The problem is we need a 4-bedroom condo.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like a 2-bedroom condo I know is like...
And my brother was pulling up like 3 bedrooms. He's like, well, we can make it work. And I'm like, no, we can't. We need 4 bedrooms.
It's like, who's gonna sleep with
like,
who?
First off, I'm not doubling up with him and his wife. I'm not gonna do that. If I kept a normal sleeping schedule, I really wouldn't mind. Because whatever, it doesn't matter. But I am the only one who is awake till 2 in the morning every single night. And it's just not fair to anybody else. Yeah. And then in that situation, like, I mean, my sister and her husband have a weird situation too, because they have 2 kids that are like 2 and like 6 months. So
yeah. Oh, okay. What Virginia Beach or?
We're looking at Ocean City, Maryland.
Okay. Oh, you're going real far. Look out.
Yeah, it's not my first choice. I don't even really like the beach, but I'm not paying for the amenities, so whatever.
Hey, I've got a phenomenal beach right by me, and I can tell you there's no one on it right now, probably.
I don't even go on the beach at the beach because I hate the beach. So
yeah, I mean, like you don't seem like a beach guy. Like I am, like just like
I don't mind the other things at the beach that there are. Like this is why I will never go to like a North Carolina or like an Outer Banks or whatever because it's just beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas like in Ocean City, Maryland, or in Ocean City, New Jersey, there's a boardwalk and there's like carnival things to do and like
that's actually
food and mini golf and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. There were only 7 tons of kittens available.
It doesn't seem like very much.
I think I got it when I think last time I was there it was like 11. A couple of times I went there, so let's see here. What R-A-J, like this other image where I pick up my where I get my additional trade information from, doesn't even have Rajiku on it. R-A-J.
What are you using to get your trade information?
It's just another, like, image off of Google Images.
Docking request granted.
Let's see here. It is 200 and some odd light years away. I wonder if I will need to fuel scoop. But I'm going to go get cold medicine first.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, well...
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Let's see here. Where are we at? Refuel. Commodities market. Buy. 25. All right. LHS 165. Maybe let's look at the system map. Maybe this is not it. This is not it. I want Alas Station. 135?
What was that?
Trying to figure out which star system was where we were basing out of for the mining.
Oh, I think it's like LSH 134. Alright, only 10 jumps to Rijiku.
134?
Yeah, 134.
Okay, well, it's not 135. And it's not 160 whatever I was just looking at.
Yeah, 160 is the one that we have the bounties in. Yeah, we have the bounties in... Well, I have the bounties in LFT 168. So it's not that one.
Let's see here. 134. This is probably it.
Yeah, yeah,
this
130.
is it. Yeah, this is it. Because 168 was really close, so...
Yeah. Or you could
LHS
just...
134.
Yep.
Or
Can you search for a station name?
I don't know. I've never tried. How many jumps? 7 jumps. Alright, let's go get rid of this stuff and then we'll call it a stream, I guess.
Released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Get out of my way, Type 9.
Yeah.
You're big and slow. Slowing down my undocking.
That's like... that. No, they were freaking filling potholes on my way to work this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the hell? It's rush hour! Don't close a lane! And they're filling potholes right in front of this ramp exit. And, you know, like, there's like 3, like, you know, construction guys just like kind of like moseying around. And I'm like, could you please, like, get the frack out of the way of every single vehicle?
You live in the land of unions, so does any of that surprise you?
What are you talking about? You're in DC. Well, you're in Baltimore. That's a very union area.
Nah.
DC is one of the largest union cities I think ever.
If you say so.
Well, I know the post office is the single unionized entity. I know they're not all working out of.
They're also.
Yeah,
the post office union system is also a lie, because if the post office we use at work is any example, they don't. Half their employees, or more than half of their employees, especially the mail carriers at the post office that deals with my work, none of those are actually really postal employees. They're all temps. Apparently that's a thing that, like, postal carriers that have a large portion of rural coverage do, is they just hire all temps. I don't understand why.
I wouldn't call your...
My office isn't in a rural area, but our post office services a very large rural area. We're on... Like, my office is on, like, the edge before you get into, like, all farms, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't... The only thing, like, last time I was in your neck of the woods, the only thing I really remember is that you had a, you know, obviously, for obvious reasons, you had some really old buildings. I was like, oh, you don't see that around the Chicago area. You know, houses that were made in the 17th century.
You don't see that much
or
around
18th century.
Here either, at least not in...
I remember us passing a really old church once.
I mean, yeah, churches are probably the older stuff. Not in, like, the part of Maryland that I'm in. There's other parts of Maryland where you would see a lot older stuff. In the parts of Pennsylvania I lived in, you see a lot of older stuff, too. But, you know, where I'm at is, like, you know, greater Baltimore suburbs, so... and
you know what, like, people say, like, I live in the middle of nowhere. I'm like... I live at the halfway point between Milwaukee and Chicago. And, you know, it's like, yeah, okay, so, like, I don't, like, there's not, like, a lot of things, like, super convenient close by, but, you know.
I mean, relative to where I live, I would say you don't live in the middle of nowhere, you live far away from things.
Yeah, I mean,
because relative, like... it took us, like, it took you 2 hours to get from Chicago to your house or whatever?
Yeah, it's about an hour and, like, 15 minutes. Oh, from my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, taking the train is a little longer,
I'm thinking
but
by
less.
car.
By car, probably an hour.
I'm just thinking how long it took us when we were driving from...
Yeah.
Like, from the second we started, we entered Chicago to the time we got to your house.
That was probably like an hour and a half. Because, well, Chicago's a north-south city. It goes, like, from the Indiana border to, you know, all the way up to... Well,
I'm just thinking, like,
Skokie.
From my house...
Yeah.
In 2 hours... I can be to DC, Baltimore, Annapolis, maybe Richmond. Probably not Richmond. Richmond might be 2.5 hours. Wilmington, Philadelphia, Harrisburg. York is a smaller city, but York.
Yeah. Hey, I can get to... I'm 2 hours away from Chicago, from Milwaukee, from Schaumburg, from Naperville. Those are your big, like, you know...
But
Chicago
those are all,
metro...
like, suburbs.
Well, everything's a... Well...
I'm talking actual cities. Like, Annapolis is not a suburb of Baltimore.
You go talk to... You go down to... Oh, this drives me nuts.
Annapolis doesn't even border. Like, there's towns in between.
Well, there's towns in between Naperville and Chicago. like Napervillians.
Okay, let me rephrase. When you look at it from a satellite view, it looks like it's a different city. When you look at even where you're at from a satellite view to Chicago, it still basically looks like part of Chicago.
Well, by that lot. Well, actually, no. Like from a satellite view,
maybe not your house, but
well, yeah, no. But actually, from space, because I used to have this as my desktop background. From space, Kenosha and Waukegan are independent from Chicago and Milwaukee. So there is like a little bit of black space, but
well, I'm just thinking in 2 hours I can drive to like 3 states' capitals and the capital of the country.
Well, your states are all tiny though. Illinois is the size of, England.
In 4 hours I can be to New York City.
In 4 hours I can be to St. Louis. In 4 hours, I can be to, Minneapolis is like 6. If I drove, I could probably make it in. I once made Carbondale in 4.5 hours. Not legally at all, but... Okay, I'm going to have to fuel scoop at the next stop.
Things just get further apart the further towards the Midwest you get.
Oh yeah, no, you are definitely 100% right, and like I said, like ever since I started having these conversations, like, wait a minute, we're in the Chicago area and we're still 2.5 hours from your house. Yeah. No, Chicago. Like, it's just feel like Chicago is fucking spread out. Because. Like the census, oh wait, that's right. I need a fuel scoop. The census classifies the metro area as the Chicago, Naperville, Joliet metro area because like everything's just kind of like splattered together. Like Joliet, Elgin, Naperville, Aurora, all those cities like back 100 years ago were like their own like towns. But then, everything grew in between it.
Right.
So.
All right. Almost to a last station.
Oh, I don't think I have that many. I got 3 more jump stories, Jiku. But I definitely need to fuel scoop.
I saw an interesting thread on, I think it was r/Star Wars.
Okay.
Where somebody was trying to figure out how long it actually took Han to make the Kessel Run. And they were trying to, okay, so the parsecs are actually a unit of
distance.
Yes. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm reading this thing, I'm like, you did a lot of research here, and that's pretty good. But this is a science fiction universe. What if in this universe it's not a measurement of distance, and it's a measurement of time?
Yeah. No, there is...
Just because we measure it that way doesn't mean that they measure it that way.
And a parsec, though... Hold on, what is a parsec? A parsec is... It's it's 1 degree of arc from planet Earth or something, right?
No, it was he had an explanation, but it was a certain number of light years.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the actual definition of it's like one. Well, like it's if you're standing at sea level, it's like one degree or 1 degree of arc second. Like so like yeah. So they're like 1 degree from the horizon. No, wait, like 1 degree from the no, it's 1 degree in between the Earth and the sun. Oh, I forget what it's something like that. I'd have to look it up. I've talked about it before on my radio show, but there is an extended universe or an old extended universe definition of what a parsec, or excuse me, of like the Kessel Run.
Right.
And
yeah.
it explains the whole parsec thing. And it relates it to being a unit of time.
Well,
or distance.
It's
yeah.
I mean, again, that's the EU stuff, and none of the EU counts anymore.
Yeah.
But basically what it was is that Kessel is nestled... It's a smuggler's run. Kessel is nestled, like...
It's by a black hole, isn't it?
It's several, like, massive black holes. And by Han making it in so many parsecs means that he basically cut the corner closer than other people would.
Yeah.
It's actually really interesting. Mild spoilers for The Force Awakens, but there's that map, and it shows a line zigging through the map.
Yeah.
That line is actually the hyperspace route, because you actually have to plot routes.
Yeah.
Because you're not actually... It's not like a wormhole type technology like a lot of other stuff, like science fiction stuff is. You're actually traveling through space at those speeds. All right, we gotta sell things.
Fuck!
What happened?
I wasn't paying attention while I was fuel scooping, and I went into... I was like, okay, time to go into hyperspace. And my cargo hatch just got damaged. And I didn't lose everything. I didn't lose anything.
Why does your cargo hatch keep getting damaged?
That's one of the things it does.
I don't think I've ever had my cargo hatch get damaged.
Oh, isn't that just special?
All right, well, I'm at 5,533,000 now.
It was one of those things where it was like, align with escape vector. And I'm like, where the fuck is the escape vector?